Getting out in the wilderness is more than a leisure activity for me. It's a lifestyle. I crave it and need it. Now I will spend 17 days traversing some of the most remote wilderness in Newfoundland, Canada. This is what I love to do. And my dog Saku, he's always by my side. It's late July in Newfoundland as another expedition into the wilderness is about to begin. To reach the starting line, we drive down the long winding road to Barbour on the south coast of the island. The community is picturesque and you feel proud to be from our province as you walk down the streets, beaches, and gaze out at the sea. Here, final moments are cherished with our family before saying goodbye once again. From Barbour, we take a 2-hour ferry ride to the hidden gem of Grey River aboard the MV Marine Voyager. Moving through the thick North Atlantic fog, our view is obscured. But eventually, the sun sneaks a peek and the impressive coastline is revealed. In transit, Saku sits patiently with his game face on. He can always smell adventure. Then, as we near land, the fog rises, and the gateway to Grey River opens. The boat enters. We slice into the deep 1,000-foot fjord, which was cut by glaciers thousands of years ago. As houses appear, I get a shiver down my spine. This place is magical. With the ferry leaving us behind, we better acquaint ourselves with the small remote community. There are just 100 people living here, but they have the heart of a country. After only a brief visit, I understand why they would never want to leave. The peace and simplicity is invigorating, and there's inspiration all around. I hope there's always life in Grey River. One man helping the cause is lifetime resident Alvin Young. He owns the general store, which keeps the Grey River supplied and running. He's also a kind soul and treated us to a ride 9 kilometers up the fjord to his cabin, where we would stay the evening. From there, the expedition would start tomorrow morning.
Son?
Yeah.
We're going to take off.
Nothing left in the boat, is there? I don't think
Well, you're going to make another check. I'll make sure.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate
you
it, Alvin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vic, nice meeting you too.
Nice meeting you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Before leaving, Alvin and his buddy Vic Rose gave me some valuable tips regarding the vast country that lay ahead.
Yeah, just in the morning when you go in there, you want to make way up that hill and you see what that outcrop is to up there.
Yeah.
That rock up there, you will make on that, and then the path will take you down and you go around 2 ponds.
So see the ridge right here?
Yeah.
Now beyond that it gets higher, there's another ridge. I'm
Yeah,
going to the right of that.
That oil ridge. You're going to be to the right of that
To the
oil
right, where it drops down, you can
Yeah.
see where it starts.
That's
Okay.
right, you see where it drops down there, and then you go into a valley with 2 little ponds there. Fill on around the ponds is on the left hand.
Okay, left hand side.
Right? Going in, okay? Then you get into the bottom. And then you go in and you got to do.
Yes, I'll manage.
No, I think you're going to have it all right. You got to cross that bridge.
Now we were ready to go. Here we go. Yoo-hoo! What do you think, Zach? Ready to go? Come on, let's go. Attaboy, Zach, let's go. Hey guys, how's it going? How's it going? Hope you're all doing well. As you can see, me and old Saki boy are out on another trip. This time, where are we to, Sack? We're down in southern Newfoundland in a remote area. And look at that view behind us. It is absolutely amazing. Freaking nuts. My mind's boggled looking down at these fjords here. They're real rugged, and the boat ride in was amazing. Everything. So, for this trip, we have around 220 odd kilometers to get us back home. The most difficult part of this trip is going to be the start of it. Of course, we just climbed up this big ridge behind us to get up out of the Fjords valley, and we have to go up the Grey River and the surrounding country. We'll stay to the west of the river, and it's going to be a difficult climb. That will take us about 80 or 90 kilometers to Mealpeg Lake, but from there it will be all downhill. I have about 24 days to do this trip, well 24 days to be exact, because on the 25th day I have an important commitment. So we're on a bit of a timeline. So this is it. There's going to be lots more wicked scenery, hopefully some good fishing, some good wildlife sightings, hopefully plenty of those. So we're really happy to have you along for this one, super excited to bring you. And that's it, it's time to go. Saku, let's get back to work, buddy, come on. Good boy, Saku. Nice moose bed there. Plenty of fresh moose tracks around. So we might see one. Hey, Sack, what do you think, bud? Can you smell any moose or what? We'll see. So we're still on the old trail that the people of Grey River use to get into this country, to do a bit of hunting or whatever, and but we're about ready to break free, I'd say, pretty soon in some trackless country, and it's going to be that way for the next, 80 odd kilometers to Mealpeg Lake. So gonna get a drink of water here at the small little pond. Saku's out there swimming, cooling off. And we'll carry on from there. What do you at, Sack? Get it, boy, get it. Nice little pond here, though, yeah, for a drink. Hey, Sack. You're nuts, Sack. Had to go back and get Sack, he got caught up. How's it going, Sack? Your bag fell off, hey? Alright. Hold on, let's get you out of here. And then we stumbled on a few bake apples, looky. Didn't we, Sack? Nice patch. So, I'm gonna sit down and have a little snack. Just exploding with juice. Exploding with it. Sack's gone to town. What a nice snack that is. So with a good mixture of walking on this trip, mostly walking starting off, but also some paddling in between, and later on in the trip when we go down river, I brought along the old raft. So right now is our first chance to use it. The small lake here is probably a
1.5 kilometers long, and instead of beating the bush around side of it, some of the tough terrain, there's a lot of tuckamore, short stunted spruce, and there's rocks and there's holes, and so to take a break from that, I'm going to paddle across and inflate the raft. That's the plan right now. We're making pretty good time, considering the terrain we've gone through when we climbed up out of the fjord. I think we got close on 6 kilometers covered, and it's around mid-afternoon. So I'm going to get across this lake, and I might consider calling it a day. Don't want to go too hard on day one. Red ants all over me. That's one thing with the summer. Once it gets dry, red ants are everywhere up here in this kind of country. Crawling up you. Like tonight when I find a campsite, I'm going to try to find one that's on a big flat rock. That way there's less of a chance there'll be red ants on the go. And on top of the red ants, there's big old stouts flying around. And the stouts are the real big flies. I'll show you later on. At some point, maybe the chunks they take out of your arm every time they bite you. So real big flies. And I got a couple spots on my arm. Just looks like a cut is that big, right? So they bite, they take big chunks out of you. But that's it. It's a part of being out here. And it won't hurt you. So that's it. About 10 minutes, we're loaded up, ready to go, and we'll save a bit of energy this way instead of tramping over the land. One sec. This is nice for a change, hey, Zach? Just gassed after that hike up at the fjord. Holy smokes. We just went straight up a wall pretty much for, I don't know, a couple kilometers, whatever it was. But that's how the day started, and whew, took the good out of me. An old Saki boy too. But that's it. That's probably the worst climb we'll have up any kind of ridges or hills for sure. I can't see it being any worse by looking at the maps and that. Nothing seems as steep as that. Climbing that quick, you know. So, a little float here now, but it won't be much longer. Another 10 minutes we'll be out hiking again. We also got a fine load here in the alpaca. We're looking at about 350 pounds in the raft, and it's about max capacity. You wouldn't want to put much more in this, but it gets the job done, and she's a hell of a vessel. That's where he went. up that hill there, up over the top, and around to the other side. And we're going up through here. So I just gave a ball just to let them know we're coming through. Go on! Go on! The boys are coming through, aren't we, Sack? I think he's long gone now. Hopefully. So we got a nice flat rock here, or flat enough for a campsite. It's the best way to do it in this country, in my opinion. So all these little erratic boulders that were strewn all through here by glaciers are gonna have to be moved, or at least this one here. And I hate to do it. Sorry, bud. I know you've been here for a long time. Now you're getting moved. Look, you can just see like a little area kind of discolored versus the rest of the rock. And that rock right there has been there for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Really strikes a chord with you when you do something like that. And really makes you think about how this land was created and how insignificant we are, but that little rock is no different than us. I just moved his home just like we'd move a home. Just like me and Saki got a new home tonight.
Every outdoor landscape possesses its own unique pros and cons for the camper to be aware of. For example, while thick woods often makes it difficult to find a campsite, abundant fuel for the fire is usually close by. However, in the high open country, the opposite can occur.
So camp's all set up. I had to throw down 4 rocks and tie them onto the corners of the tent because it's pretty windy up here. 2 right there, because the bottom one's a bit light. Another one there, and the 4th one is under the bag. Actually, I got 5. And then tonight when I shut her down, I don't know, I'll probably just leave the door open so we can get a breeze in, so I probably won't put a rock out there. But that's it now. I got a bit of wood, a little mound, solar panels over there on that rock, getting a bit of charge here in the evening hours. I've been going down to this little water hole at the top of my finger, only a small little spot. It's not connected to this one. It's a separate one. There's a little hole right here, just enough to get a bit of water to boil a kettle, and for me and Sako to have a cold drink. And what about old Mr. Black Bear, eh? Well, that's the lake we're on. That's where he jolted over that hill, and I'd say now he's many, many kilometers away. I had to set camp up here. I didn't want to go any further. We were gassed, so that's it. I've seen plenty of black bears in Newfoundland, and only once did they ever stick around. So it should be all good. Either way, we'll be keeping our ears and eyes open. And of course, Saku here in the tent. Old Saky boy. Hey, Sack. You'll know long before me. He will. He'll know long before me. So it's just coming up on 8 o'clock. I'm gonna sit back, and once the sun gets a little bit lower, I don't got a whole lot of wood there, so I'm gonna wait for the sun to sink a bit further, and I'll get a fire going and boil a kettle. Good job today, Sack boy. Good job, buddy. What are you doing, hey? What are you taking the mat up? Absolutely. What a morning out there. It's ghostly looking out there. Holy smokes. What do you think, Sack? Let's go take a look, buddy. Get him, Sack. Get him. You'll never get him, Sack. Sack is down after the squirrels now. There's a couple there in a little rock hollow just out from camp. Sack's chasing squirrels, and I'm having a cup of coffee now in the morning hours. It's just past 8 a.m. and whew, bag diddly bagged here this morning. Just easing ourselves into the trip, and you can expect that early. You know, we're out for could be 3 weeks or so, and you can go on a trip that long without resupplies. You know, you're just going to have a heavy pack. But it gets lighter with each day as you eat food, and right now mine started at around 80 pounds roughly, plus this camera here you're watching me on it's around 3.5 pounds with the microphone. So you know, we're getting lighter, and Sack's getting lighter as he eats food. He started off at around 18 odd pounds. But that's part of these trips. You harden yourself in the first few days, and it gets easier. So I'm just waiting now for the fog to burn off a little more. It swooped in there early this morning. Just before 6, it was making its way in. And at one point there, an hour or so ago, it was that thick I could only see about 100 yards or so around the perimeter of our camp.
But as the sun comes out now, it's going to burn off and we'll get geared up. You got him, Sack? Sack, he's not in there, he's over there, by. But, yeah, we'll get geared up then, and I'm going to have a little pot of oatmeal and pack the camp up, and we'll be gone. Good boy, Sack. Keep her going, buddy. Skipping a few rocks now. Up a dried riverbed, or brook. It's not much of a river. It's another hot one, isn't it, Zach? Oh. Over here, Zach. Sometimes it's, you know, it's pretty gut-wrenching work when it's this warm out, but it's all about pacing yourself and taking little breaks like this. Whenever you feel like you're getting to that point where you're just exhausted, don't go there. You know, unless you're really, really pressing, take a break. And then, you know, 5 minutes or so, back at it. Right now, I'm just splashing water on my face, all over my head. Saki's doing the same. Our packs are off. And a couple little mouthfuls of water, too. So, it's good stuff. We just went through little stretch of Tuckamore, tangly old spruce, stunted, and Zaku came cruising behind me, but he had no pack on, so I'll go back and try to find it now. It must be hooked in somewhere. Where is it, Zach? Where's your bag? Need that food. Can't lose Zaku's food. Saki, where is it? Where's your bag? I can't find it.